People, welcome back to Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Now we're back on the Kerosene oil series. You would have heard what the kerosene does to her son, right? In the video where I talked about the 11-year-old boy known as Yomi Sandifer. Now we're gonna look at what the kerosene oil does to her daughter. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, Jamaica has a serious issue with young children, especially young girls, getting, how would I say, let's just say feel up, right? We know YouTube is sensitive already with certain words. When you talk about little girls, young women, losing their innocence and all kind of things happen to them, right? Not just physically, but mentally. The people who study these things, track these things, try and bring the perpetrators to justice, they will tell you that Jamaica has a crisis. But the average Jamaican probably wouldn't tell you that. The average Jamaican rather stick them head in the sun, right, and go on like say everything alright, because that's the culture. Shut your mouth, you don't say nothing, move on, right? I don't think there's anybody listening to this video right now who can't think of somebody in them family or one of them friends or them schoolmates who hasn't been a victim in a case like this. But we know the role that the predator men plays in this, right? We know about the man them who feel up pitney and the man them who do this and do that and, you know, take it in them innocence. We know about that and we burn them out every day. Society has no mercy on these men. When them get catch, people say they must go jail to get them head limb off, and people say they even bother lock them up, they shoot them, cut off them seed bag, all kind of things. People have no mercy on these men. And hey, as far as I'm concerned, them get to them deserve. However, people don't talk about the role that the kerosene oil plays in young women, little girls, losing their innocence. See, the kerosene oil, by nature, only wants a certain type of men, right? You should know what a kerosene is by now. The type of men the kerosene oil is attracted to and wants in her life are the type of men who casually walk in our house, wet up every single person of the house, then take off their head them and fling them in our gully. If the man don't have 1, 2, 3 up upon him, minimum, if the man isn't feared in the community, right? If the man not have 1, 2 illegal gun lock on them bed, right, ready to use them at any given time, she's simply not interested. Gunman in she hole. The kerosene choose the worst type of men to reproduce with. The kerosene has no interest in Carlton. Carlton is boring to the kerosene, he's lame. The only time she might be interested is, you know, further on down the road, when things kind of slow down for her. But when she's in her prime, Carlton has no chance. You see, the kerosene will see a youth like Pricky Boy, who is the most wanted man in the country. And the kerosene will get pregnant for him. She will search for him, right? She would even get him number. She'll tell somebody, say, hey, no, me can't find Pricky. She will go out her way for link with Pricky. And she will get pregnant for Pricky while he's the most wanted. Knowing, say, somebody like him, I got either end up down at horizon for 40 years or he's going to get killed. But that don't matter because it's not about the child. It's not about the child. See, the kerosene have a similar mindset to the serial breeder. The serial breeder doesn't actually want or care about the children. It's just another notch on his belt. The same way the kerosene don't actually want the pitney. She wants the 87. And the child is just the trophy for brag to the other people in the community and brag to even other kerosene say, "I she a Pricky Boy baby mother." That means something to the kerosene. That's a badge of honor for the kerosene. Now, we could talk about the girls then. By nature of the type of man where the kerosene want, when she carry them Monday in our house around our daughter, oh boy, here we go. See, I'm going to give you the mental destruction of the kerosene rain down upon our daughter, but let me start off with the physical. You see, when she carry certain man round our daughter, right? Because remember, her daughter and her father, she get pregnant with Breaker Boy while him wanted, right? Knowing full well say in time on the earth limited, right? But because she didn't want the price of saying that she a Breaker baby mother, anyway, then kill him off. So the little girl fatherless. Little girl has no father in the home, right? And not only that, instead of saying, alright, you know what, it gone bad, but now let me try and make sure I try as hard as possible to make sure that the man them coming at the house are men of some kind of great character, even though me know you can't know 100%, but at least start off with somebody who doesn't make it a habit to casually go over Irish and go cut off woman head and fling it in a gully. No, that's the type of man she want, and that's the type of man she replaced Breaker with. So that man is now in the house. And you must see, this little girl that walk around the house, she's underage, but she reached a stage where, two little things start to spring upon her chest. And you must see that, and he must watch. He must watch. And the daughter realized that he must watch too. So the daughter go to the mother and say, Mommy, I don't like how 87 I look for me, because mother said, where you start a while ago? Move from right there, so. I make you have Jordan on your foot. You're too ungrateful. Move and go. If I never fit him, you wouldn't have no Jordans. Because remember, it's all about material things. All about material things. 87 are bringing the blood money. So, daughter have to go still on one side. 87 hear that, him get even more confident. Him realize that, the mother, my side, the mother really depend. She care more about keeping me in her life than protecting her daughter. Hold on, people. 87 take it to a next step. Him start to feed up the little girl. Little girl will complain to her mother. Mommy, 87, I touch me up. The mother get heated. Liar tell wicked girl come out of my house. Come out of my house, get to them ungratefully. The latest iPhone we have now and I invite for you. And this is how you want to treat him. You look ungrateful, wicked pitney. So the Kerosenes talk to our daughter. Oh, and by the way, people, it doesn't have to be a full-fledged 87. We're talking about any acidic male, right? Because remember, the Kerosenes is acidic, so she's attracted to acidic men, right? Now, anyway, now the little girl in a position where either she left the house, which wouldn't make sense because we're talking about a pitney or so. So either she go left the house and go be homeless, or she go stay with one next family member, right, who might feel her up to. Or the little girl sit down at the house and take the abuse. Unfortunately, in a lot of cases, that's what the little girl do. So now she in the house and she get a regular abuse. And sometimes, and Sisoka can tell her this, the people among Sisoka can tell her this, man in a room with mother, come out of the room with the mother, walk go into the daughter room, go take set upon the daughter, a mother in a fear room and here, man in her daughter room, upon her daughter and mother not do nothing. Because in the Kerosenes acidic mind, the trade-off is worth it. Think about what I go through the Kerosene mind, She gets the prestige, the acidic prestige of saying, she a sci-fi woman. She get 4 walks with the community and bud up who she want bud up. She get when the extortion money come in, she get it. When the scamming money come in, she get it. Any robbery go on, she eat out of it. Right? What's the trade-off? Him just go upon her daughter every now and then, go get way more. To the Kerosenes, that's a fair trade. That is a fair trade. So it happened right under her nose, and she not do nothing. In her mind, it's worth it. This is how the Kerosenes justify it. Well, she go grow up come take man anyway, so what if she just start looking early? Them thing the Kerosenes tell herself. And the daughter ball to her, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. Keeping the 87 is more important than protecting our daughter. And some take it even a step further. Some Kerosenes use their daughters as negotiating tools or bargaining chips for any kind of dispute that may arise from their acidic activity. Because remember, enough Kerosene, lock gun, hide gun, ship gun, alright, they transport ammunition, them go move this and put this over here. So if couple rounds can't find or a machine get lost, With the kerosene, they supposed to carry out on apps and she never do fair part of the bargain and this never go right. When things go wrong and the man them say, yo, how comes when I get this? The kerosene will say, listen, me can't buy back on a shot. But me have a daughter. She a 14, man. Yeah, man, her thing them on her chest that go already, man. You'd like her, man. Listen, as me say, me can't buy back the shop, but you can't have your way with her. Just come down on the yard and you can do what you want to do to her. Call Sissoko and ask them. Because I understand some people, depending upon where you live and based on your own situation, this might sound extraordinary to you. So call Sissoko and ask them. Ask any of these child protection companies, agencies, they will tell you. Kerosene use them daughters forget or to cancel out certain actions what them do in them life. See her there, take her. Fresh and green, have your way with our boss, man. Right? As long as it cancel out whatever debt, more to know. So that's the physical, just a few examples of the physical damage. Now I know some of you might be saying, but hold on, I know the mother touched the pitney. Are the dirty man? Yes, sure, it's the man. But the mother is the facilitator. But what about the mental and psychological side of it? Well, you have to understand, when young girls come across some kind of thing there and experience some kind of thing there, it shapes their outlook on life in general. It shapes their outlook on men in general. So now, because when she was at her most vulnerable, she was not protected, right? For remember, no, daddy never did it, right? Daddy is Spreaky boy, daddy dead or daddy died prison, right? Or daddy is a rolling stone, so him that one I'm 17 and a baby man of them yard, right? Because you know 87 is hot in demand. So, people, the little girl look at men as absentee, right? In fear mind, no man is going to stick around. So when she meet a man, when she meet Carlton, who is going to stick around, because all she's ever known is absentee father, absentee men. She see every man come in her mother life and then just gone not long after. She start to subconsciously sabotage her relationship with Carlton, and she punishes him for the actions of the people who have hurt her mentally and physically. So again, Carlton obviously now forced himself on her. But every time Carlton touch her, it gives her a flashback of what used to happen to her when she was 14. So she keeps flinching. She keeps flinching, she feels uncomfortable, right? And Carlton can pick up on this. So he's like, okay, let me stop. Remember, no, Carlton do nothing. Carlton hasn't done anything wrong. But even though in terms of age, the little girl has turned into a big woman, mentally she's still in the same place like when she was a little girl. Because you see, when pitney get abused a certain way, their growth, their mental growth cease. It's almost as if their mind stop, but their body continues to grow. So even though she a big woman now, and Carlton forced himself on her, in her mind she still feels just as vulnerable as when she did young. And she still feels just as unprotected, right, like when she did young. Even though Carlton would do anything for her. Carlton would jump in front of her, especially for her. But in her mind, I am vulnerable, I am alone, I'm being hurt, and nobody is coming to help me. And then to make things worse, every time she tries to go back to the same mother for some kind of advice, it's more acidity. Because she tells her mother, say, Mommy, you know, me and Carlton were together the other night, and every time he touched me, I just felt so, vulnerable, and I was afraid and, anxiety, and I told him to stop. Listen to the mother. Listen to the kerosene, who's used to dealing with cold-blooded killers. She said, when they tell Carlton to stop, what him do? The daughter say, he stopped. You're the kerosene. Carlton a idiot. That's why I tell you, say, if you find a real man. That's why I tell you should have talked to sci-fi. That's why you should have dealt with sci-fi. What you mean you tell him to stop and him stop? It's a idiot man that. Real man that does take it. So now, here comes the doubt. Here comes the daughter questioning what she's really about. She's thinking to herself, then hold on, a true mommy talk. A quote unquote real man wouldn't see me a cry and tell him say me uncomfortable and stop. A quote unquote real man will just keep going and carry on anyway. You see, because the perception of what a quote unquote real man is twisted in the kerosene world. And instead of Carlton getting commended, right, for being understanding of the fact that because she was an abuse victim, certain things make her uncomfortable and him don't want to inflict no more mental and psychological pain upon her. He should be commended for that, but not in the kerosene world. So now she accepts her mother's side of the story. She believes what her mother tell her about Carlton. He's not a real man. She need a killer in her life. She need a 87. She needs somebody who go just no business about such petty issues. And what do you know? The mother get her wish. The mother's daughter starts to par with the same type of man where she left par with 15-20 years ago. And now she can walk around and tell people say, our daughter man is the big man on the block. Our daughter's man will come shoot her in her face. See, back in the day, he used to be fair man, but she go up in her age now, so she needs her daughter to carry on the legacy. As I said, generational acidity. So she finally get what she want. She get what she want, even though her daughter is going through mental and physical health. But it was never about the daughter. The daughter doesn't matter. The kerosene is always been about her selfish goals and her selfish needs. The need to be associated with the most acidic and destructive men on the block. The need to be able to rub shoulders with the killers and feel like she's superior to the other females who don't have a sci-fi or a James Science in a film life. So you can now see how she carries out her role as an agent of destruction, because her son, she does everything she can to help turn him into the next generation of 87s, and then she does everything to turn her daughter into the next generation of kerosene, which places them both on the conveyor belt of death and destruction. Cause you see, in our culture, we see a lot of young women doing certain things, carrying out certain acts, displaying certain behaviors, and everybody quick to say, oh well, because she does stay so. Oh, because she does love man. Because she does, she not an ambition. People act like them don't know where enough of these girls are coming from. People act like they don't know the kind of acidic women that are raising these young women. People act like they don't know the kind of acidic homes these young women are coming out of. And I know, Simple Simone, I know you're going to tell me, say, oh, you're not talking about the man them. That's a lie, Simone. You're lying. We call out men all the time. We call out men who fail to do this and fail to do that all the time. We call out men who treat having a new child, a living, breathing, sentient being, as if it's adding a new clocks to his collection all the time. We do call them out. Yes, we know enough men are stand up and put in them life. We know enough men run from them responsibilities. We know that, Simone. But this series, it's your turn. We need to also call out the women. Like it or not, they have a major part to play in all of this. A major part. And if enough people are honest, they better tell you about their mother. Enough people not tell you about your mother, but tell you about for their mother. They will tell you about some of their aunties. When they talk about acidic, when they talk about kerosene, when they talk about next generation, people, when I go to go on my comment section still, I have a strong feeling things will get hot. But people have some stories. If they never share it, if they never tell you about for them kerosene mother, about for them acidic mother, and some things with them they have to go through, listen, water run out of our eyes. Water will run out of our eyes. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know. More life. Bless.